Thanks for taking the time to listen to this message for doctors certifying routine scheduled ambulance transports. My name is Tom Ryan, and I'll be your narrator today. Medicare requires physicians to certify in writing the medical necessity for a routine scheduled ambulance transport. Medicare refers to this as a Physician Certification Statement, or a PCS. We have identified an issue with the PCS. In some cases, the physicians are writing them for transports that are not medically necessary. This creates confusion for the patient, ambulance companies, and doesn't allow Medicare to pay for the transport. We've developed this video to help physicians determine if they should write a PCS for scheduled ambulance transports. This video does not focus on unscheduled ambulance transports or scheduled one-time ambulance transports. To explain when the certification is required, we'll break the topic into sections. First, what does Medicare consider a routine scheduled transport? The transport is scheduled at least the day before it occurs, and the patient must require more than one transport for the same service. Examples of this are scheduled transports to and from dialysis or chemotherapy. The rules in this video do not apply to scheduled one-time transports, such as a transport to an MRI. Next, the physician is certifying the medical need for the transport. How does Medicare define this? The transport must be the only safe way for the patient to go from the pickup location to the destination. So the physician is certifying the patient medically needs the emergency medical technician or EMT's medically trained skills during the transport to be safely transported to the destination. The key element of that statement is the medical need for the EMT during the transport. The certification also shows that the physician believes the transport meets all Medicare requirements, such as a covered destination, not mainly for the convenience of the patient or family, and the service at the destination is needed for the patient's health and wellness. This means a physician should not order an ambulance transport when the patient could safely go by a car or taxi, but no one is available to pick them up. One last requirement is the statement must be in writing. So does Medicare have a required form or required elements? Medicare does not have a form. The ambulance company may choose to create a form. Regardless of how it's written, it must contain certain elements. These include the patient's name, the medical reason for the transport, and the physician's signature with date. The reason needs to be specific and contain enough information to medically justify the transport. Simple statements such as weakness, bed confinement, or oxygen dependent do not help Medicare understand the medical need for the transport. That's it for the requirements. Next, let's answer a commonly asked question. Many people ask Medicare if the PCS alone justifies medical necessity. The physician needs to know it does not. As the physician did not see the patient that day, the EMT must evaluate the patient on the day of the transport for each transport. This means if the patient is transported to and from dialysis, then 2 evaluations occur. Remember, the patient's medical condition does change, and that's why the PCS alone does not prove medical necessity. Next, I want to help you understand the negative effects on the patients when certification is not medically necessary. Physicians sometimes order transports for services not covered by Medicare law or are not medically necessary. The patient has an expectation of the ambulance company to transport them. When the EMT evaluates the patient, they are unable to establish the medical need. If a transport occurs, the patient is responsible for the bill. Many patients insist on the transport due to the doctor's orders. Before you or your physician writes an order, be sure the transport is the only safe way for the patient to go to the destination. It cannot be for the convenience of the patient or family. One last thing to know. If the transports are needed for more than 60 days, you must recertify the need. This is specified in the federal regulations. Want to learn more? View the regulations and our checklist. The requirements for PCS are in the Code of Federal Regulations, or CFR. The information is in 42 CFR 410.40. We offer a checklist to help ensure your PCS has the necessary information. The web page for both the CFR and the checklist are in the description of this video. Thanks for your time. If you found this video helpful, like and share it. Have a comment? Leave it for us and we'll get back to you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more Medicare messages. Bye for now.